Right now, what frontline workers taking care of COVID-19 patients at UW Hospital want you to know. And 2 men are in the hospital after a shooting. How workers at the bowling alley it took place outside of are reacting. Plus, Jeopardy's longtime host has died. How the entertainment community is remembering Alex Trebek.
This is News 3 Now at 10.
Coronavirus cases in Wisconsin continue to rise. DHS and county dashboards show an increase of more than 4,000 cases over the past day and 38,000 new cases since Monday. 7 more people have died, while 58,000 of the state's 267,000 all-time cases remain active. The recent surge in cases is again concerning frontline workers who are now taking care of more patients in Dane County than ever before. Adam Duxter and photojournalist Brian Mesmer were given a look inside UW Hospital's COVID care this week and bring you the plea 2 nurses are making tonight.
Since June, UW Health nurse Andrea Romer has been taking on a task unlike any she's done before.
What we weren't prepared for is how lonely and scared patients can be when they can't have their loved ones visit.
She says at this point, the team taking care of COVID patients in the Trauma and Life Support Center runs like a well-oiled machine. But the virus is still presenting issues even the best frontline workers have a difficult time figuring out.
COVID always takes a different course than what we think, and that makes it so unpredictable. And then we can't always guide the family in what to expect, guide the patient in what to expect. We just kind of have to take it day by day.
What do you need me to grab?
These days, healthcare workers are seeing a second wave of patients, forcing UW Health to effectively double the space they're using for critical care.
Is this going to get worse? You know, how are we going to take care of everybody? You know, we're spread out thin as it is. Where are we moving next to open another one? How are we going to get the staff to staff it?
Carrie Elwood has been here for 20 years. Normally, she loves making a connection with her patients, but the one she's seeing now can't talk. Both nurses say this process can be incredibly lonely for the patient and them too.
We don't necessarily know what this will look like in the future, how long this will impact us as far as our emotional health.
But as things get worse inside these walls, both frontline workers say they're frustrated by what they're seeing from people outside.
When I have to go out for groceries, I see people walking without their masks on, and it makes me very angry and upset and sad because I see what, happens. It's crazy how they want to, have football games and have, big rallies and all this kind of stuff, but, we're struggling, and it seems like nobody cares.
This means sacrifices.
We're not planning our holiday traditions normally.
And more unknowns.
If we're going to get more patients than we already have, and what's the next step, and, where are we going to get the staff to staff that?
And while they work harder than ever, these nurses know there's only so much they can do. And that's why they're asking you to do what you can do and what we've proven we can do together before.
When we ask people to use more PPE in the community, we really do mean that from a place of we're all in this together and that we're all experiencing this as humans together. And so the more they can do for us, the more we can do for them.
In Madison, Adam Duxter, News 3 Now.
Both nurses say they've learned over the course of the last 8 months that masks and PPE do make a difference. For more on our visit inside UW Hospital, including what doctors have to say about the future of the virus, you can go to our website, channel3000.com. Iowa Grant High School is pivoting to all virtual instruction starting tomorrow. The district says students will stay home through at least Tuesday. Iowa Grant Elementary and middle schools will continue in-person learning. The number of coronavirus cases around the world has passed 50 million. That's according to data from Johns Hopkins. The global tally surpassed 50 million this morning. The U.S. still has the highest number of infections, more than 10 million. More than 1.2 million people have died from COVID-19 around the world. Let's get a look at your first warned weather. We get one more mild day before we go back to what's supposed to be November.
What should feel like November, yes. The 70s have sure felt really nice outside, and yet again today in the low 70s with sunny skies. That's what we will see for tomorrow. Not quite record-breaking, but certainly well above average. Partly sunny for Monday with high temperatures close to 70 degrees. That is unseasonably mild when we should see highs in the 40s. Shower chances will return on Tuesday, and behind that system, will be back closer to average. Sunshine expected for the second half of the week behind the rain, but it is going to be a bit cooler outside. We'll take a closer look at your full 10-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. 2 people are in the hospital after a shooting on Madison's west side. It happened last night around 10:30 in the parking lot of Schwegler's Lanes. Margarita Vinogradov explains how staff reacted and found a way to keep everyone safe.
Schwegler's general manager says she was in bed sleeping
It just all happened so fast.
when she got a call from the police.
By the time we got here, obviously, the whole parking lot was blocked off.
Aloxum said customers already at the bowling alley were allowed to stay inside. No one else was allowed in after.
Everybody was safe, and we believe it was an isolated incident because it happened in the parking lot, and it was just the 2 people who got hurt.
Police asked her for surveillance footage to further investigate. She said although police were able to clear up the scene fairly quick, Schwegler's helped those who couldn't get to their vehicles still get home.
If the cars were not able to leave because of the crime scene, we just did get them safe rides.
She said Schwegler's always has safe ride vouchers through the Tavern League so that anyone who has too much to drink can get home safely.
It was definitely an isolated incident, like things that happen all over the city right now. It's not. Schwegler's is a dangerous place to be.
Schwegler's is now welcoming people back, assuring them that they're in a safe place to bowl. In Madison, Margarita Vinogradov, News 3 Now.
Police officers recovered 75 shell casings from the scene. They say they're investigating it as an attempted homicide. Police have no one in custody. Meanwhile, Madison's police union is responding to the mayor this weekend. The force will face a 5% cut in next year's operating budget after the mayor asked the union to change its contract and free up some funds. As Gabriela Becerra shares, the union isn't going to just give up their benefits without something in return.
When Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway released her operating budget for 2021, she called on the police union to reopen its contract and renegotiate items she finds no longer realistic. But the Madison Police Union president tells me that the city has yet to make a suggestion worth bargaining for. The police union's contract isn't up for another 13 months, but the city wants to make some changes now.
What's happening is the mayor is asking us to open that contract that was bargained for in good faith.
In a public message regarding tough choices on the budget, Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says the previous administration approved a 3.75% raise for police in 2021. She says that raise is no longer affordable. In the same message, Rhodes Conway says, quote, "Since May of this year, I have been asking the police union to reopen their contract, but they have declined so far." Madison Professional Police Officers Association President Kelly Powers says he sat down for multiple meetings with the city to discuss renegotiation, but says the city hasn't made any reasonable offers to benefit both parties involved.
We understand that the city has some needs right now, but in order for us to help facilitate that, we're not going to bargain against ourselves.
In a letter addressing the mayor's October message, Powers says the city's demands ignore the sacrifices officers make to serve the public.
We've made plenty of concessions on our part over the years, particularly as it relates to this contract already. And we would, have had an open ear here. However, the approach that's been used is, to be fair, kind of ridiculous.
The union's contract is good through the end of 2021. As far as what's next, contract negotiations for 2022 and beyond will begin in May. In Madison, Gabriela Becerra, News 3 Now.
We reached out to the mayor's office for a response to the police union's letter, but we have not heard back today. UW-Madison is investigating a video that shows a university employee on a motorcycle running over protesters on Friday outside the Capitol building. The video was posted yesterday by a student-run Instagram account meant to amplify the voices of students of color. Here's part of that video posted by the account. UW confirmed the employee in the video is a senior power plant operator on the school's campus. In the post comments, many students are demanding action from the university and that the employee be fired. The school is not commenting until its investigation is complete. President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will be on this week's cover of Time magazine. The cover says, in quotes, "The time to heal." That was the plea Biden made to Americans in a speech last night as he claimed victory over President Donald Trump. Biden is expected to speak tomorrow and detail his plan to fight the coronavirus. Today, Biden and Harris received congratulations from another former president. George W. Bush says he called the president and vice president-elect this morning. Bush is the only living former Republican president. He says President-elect Biden won the opportunity to lead the United States and said the election was fundamentally fair. In a statement, Bush also said President Trump has the right to request recounts, but said he believes Biden's win is clear. Former Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama congratulated Biden and Kamala Harris yesterday. The current president is still refusing to accept the results of the election. Trump was seen golfing for the second straight day today at his Virginia golf club. That comes as CNN is reporting that Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has approached the president about conceding the election. The Trump campaign is denying that such a conversation happened. A separate source reportedly told CNN that First Lady Melania Trump has also advised the president to accept the loss. One of the campaign's biggest surrogates said today on Fox News the president will continue fighting the results and said without evidence that Joe Biden stole the election.
I think that it is a corrupt, stolen election. I suspect they're going to try to steal North Carolina next in Fulton County, Georgia. We believe these people are thieves.
The Trump campaign said today the race is far from over. The president has also continued to push his attorneys to pursue legal challenges that would delay formal certification of the results. Coming up on News 3 Now, Dana has your first warn forecast. Plus, we've lost one of the most iconic hosts in game show history. We'll take a look back at the life of Alex Trebek. And South Florida is prepping for Tropical Storm Eta, how it's already causing death and destruction in parts of Mexico. Stay with us.